All right, engineering students, we are here with for this group, this is your client, Mrs. Jones, down at the San Roque campus. She's 10 minutes away from where you guys are right now. And I don't know, maybe some of you even had her not so long ago, actually. So you've been working hard, putting together your designs, watching great discussions happen on your shared document, seeing good sketches and things being shared. So the purpose of this right now is to go through all of your initial conceptual designs, and Mrs. Jones is going to give a lot more insight directly to you right now, and that's going to really help clarify things. Now, before we get into that, there's one question I wanted to clarify with you, Mrs. Jones, because I don't know if I misunderstood the original design that you were looking for, or maybe you changed your mind. Whatever it is, we want to know what you want right now. Yeah. Are you looking more for a full desk that is also can be changed in height, you know, like a full regular sized one with all the features that we described? Or are you looking for something, and I suppose that would be a replacement for what you currently have, or are you looking for a supplemental, like more of a cart size one that goes up and down in addition to what you already have and will continue to use? Okay,
I'm looking for something that is a replacement for this table. This table is actually a workstation table that the students use when we're not don't have coronavirus. So I am right now just using this as my workstation, but I don't want it as wide as this table. So a little wider than a cart, but not as wide as what this table is.
Okay, and you and I did talk through the dimensions of what your ideal tabletop surface would be approximately. Yeah. So that all still stands, right? What was in the original thing? Okay, great. Yeah, because I think we saw some kind of large ones emerging, so we're going to look at some of those right now. All right, let's go and share the screen. We're going to keep this to about half an hour or less. Here we go. Okay, so here were the original notes that I took while we talked. We won't go through them right now. You know, maybe I didn't write dimensions down. But this is the sketch that I created kind of while we were talking. And I think I showed that to you, but I didn't show it to the students until just now because I wanted them to get their own ideas. All right, so let's start going through them. So this is, let's zoom in a little bit here, actually. There we go. So this is Alan. Alan is in the 11th grade and been in the engineering academy his whole way. It's a little hard to see on the left, but Alan is almost describing kind of like a hinged drafting table with some extra containers and extra platforms and lighting. This is a screenshot from his video that I took. So what are your thoughts on this kind of design?
This design here, it's a unique design, but I don't think it really meets the needs that I'm looking for because I don't want something to tilt forward and back like a drafting table. I want something to go up and down so that when I'm standing or sitting, that the computer is at the right height for my back, so I'm sitting straight for my back.
Yeah.
But it's a neat design, but I don't think it works for what I'm looking for.
Okay. So definitely a no on the tilting, and that's great. We want to eliminate things which you don't want. What about the kind of more open feel that just has the legs with the caster wheels under it, with everything kind of clustered at the top?
I do like the open feel, but I do want a small cabinet on the side if possible for my teaching manuals, because otherwise I have to go to a cabinet and pull them out and they're not easy access for me. So it would be nice to have a little side cabinet that I noticed that a few of the other designs have, but his little drawers are cute, and I didn't have that in my original thought.
Yeah. Sure. So you don't need to like kind of sit under it with your legs under it, or you would like that ability?
I would like a little bit of ability, but I'd like a little side cabinet that has room for my textbooks. So I don't need a lot of leg room. I'm not looking for a lot of leg room, but a little leg room.
Okay. So maybe even like if a little shelf sort of came out or something that you could sit up next to, maybe that is the better solution.
That could be.
Okay. Okay, good to know. This is Davis, also 11th grade, also been in the academy the whole way. Davis really kind of emphasized, I think, more of the actual like style, like a modern style,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. And he's got a spiral gear idea, which would kind of raise and lower this thing, I think, in kind of like a parallelogram fashion, like it would always stay level while it raised and lowered. And then there's his paper model. What are your thoughts?
The only thing with that again is where to put the teacher manuals and
Okay,
things like that.
cool.
I think it's a very fun design.
Hmm.
I think it's very interesting on how he has it raising and lowering. I just don't know if it will be functional for
Yeah,
what I'm looking for.
yeah. So the storage is important.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. Again, excellent to know. We want to get to the heart of what the needs are. Eliana is a new Engineering Academy student in the 9th grade, Eliane Bourdin, and you've got here, again, more of like that full desk version with some additional things on top.
I thought it was very interesting that she has the little stands go up and down by themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that would work out on the desk, but that is an interesting concept
Mhm.
about just the laptop stand raising up and lowering. I like that she has the cabinets on the side. I
Mhm.
don't know what her dimensions are. It may be a little bigger than what I'm looking for. Um,
Looks like
as far
3 foot
as
wide.
wide, it's how wide?
Looks like 3 foot wide. I don't know if you can see my mouse right there, but
Okay, yeah, 3 foot wide and 2 foot deep, it looks like.
yeah, that looks like a 2 foot height, I think, which would be
Oh,
a little short actually for a table, but yeah, probably about 2 foot deep. Oh no, I'm sorry. Here it is. It's 1.5,
okay.
1.5 deep by 3 wide.
And that actually probably would be a closer to what I would be looking for. Maybe not quite three, maybe 2.5, but three would probably work in this space.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, you heard that. You need to write that down because having like hard numbers, hard data to depend on, that will define a lot of the design. So we just heard like about a 2.5 foot width, maybe a 1.5 foot depth. That's how far it is horizontally away from you. And then height wise, that's the adjustable part that we need in whatever way that is accomplished. But yeah, I like these little folding platform things.
Yep.
And one thing too is I always tell the engineering students you want to keep things as simple as you possibly can while carrying out the purpose, because the more moving parts and complexity, the more things that break and go wrong, the less chance that you'll be still using this thing a couple of years from now. So like simple, robust designs, very important. All right, I think you know this guy.
Yeah,
We
I think so.
Yeah, we have just started openly acknowledging in our engineering discussions that this is Isaiah's mother, and and he's going to check with her tonight as to what she meant by this or that. So that's good. That's out in the open now. So he's what is this lightweight adjustable clamp above?
Okay.
Some sort of light. Sorry,
Yeah.
not lightweight, like a light on like a gooseneck thing or something. Okay. Now,
So,
don't play favorites here, but what do you think?
well, we had actually talked about the length. So he has, I
Okay.
believe, the 2.5 length and the width. So we had talked about that. He included the little stand for the iPad or the little projector, which
Yep.
I'm looking for, which I don't want out all the time. It's nice
Right.
to have so that I can just use it when need to, but that I don't have that extra length when I don't need it.
Yep.
So yeah, there are things in here that we had talked about. The
Mm-hmm.
light we had talked about in our original plan. So he has included the light on there. So there's some when I'm zooming or whatever, I can do back lighting or so that face can be seen while in the classroom since it's a little bit darker.
Right.
Uh, so
Right.
those are the things that I really like about that.
Good. And something I had brought up with one of the teams, I don't remember which one, but one of the two teams working for you, is when it comes to the side desk for the iPad, if you have it hinged down to the stowed position as this one is, that's good, but you got to be really careful that it's never going to accidentally suddenly do that and lose the load. So two ways around that could be that if you had it fold up into position in some way, and the down was the maximum extended position, that would be one way to get around it.
Yeah.
Or having a like a sliding panel that pulls out but doesn't hinge up or down, but it's like hidden in a recess. That's another way. Not that this can't work, but you need like a little locking little strut that kind of like locks into place, and that's possible to do, but then anytime if someone's knee bumps it or something, it can bring the whole thing down.
The sliding out has I like the sliding out, I think, because that's pretty sturdy, and then it's easy to put away when I'm not using it.
Yep. And now again, I see that we have the kind of like a space for you to sit under, it looks like, and then a cabinet on the one side. So you're saying that's not absolutely necessary to sit all the way under it like a desk, but maybe a little bit of recess for your knees would be suitable.
Yes, a little bit of recess for my knees would be nice. And I did say that, just to let the kids know that don't know me, is I am left-handed. So the idea of where I want my cart to would be probably, or not the cart, but the shelves would be probably more on the left side, because I would be grabbing with my left hand. Right. So that might be to think about too, is that would be the better placement of the shelving.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. Highly customized. We can get you left-handed screwdrivers and everything if you want them.
No, that's okay.
Okay. Caitlin, also in the 11th grade. Caitlin's got some lovely gridded drawings here, which is a great way, guys, to keep to a consistent scale. And so Caitlin's done a pretty good job of doing that. Even though this is obviously a rough sketch, she has, it looks like, kind of more of a minimal thing. It's got like 4 legs with the caster wheels at the bottom of those legs. It looks like she has that sliding sideboard idea, as far as I can tell. It's almost like a drawer that pulls out.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, she does. Yeah, and her Lego models show that in the extended and closed positions. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
I really like, now that I've seen the slide out, that is a really nice design. Can you help explain a little bit what is lifting on that?
That's a good question. Yeah, because we said it had to be adjustable in height. She's written in here, I'm not sure if you can see that, it says electric legs, max 5 feet, minimum 2.5 feet, with some question marks. That's up for discussion.
Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure, because I couldn't quite tell on the Lego how it was. Right. So the whole thing lifts up is what it sounds like, from the legs up. Yeah,
the legs extend. So that does not bear out in the Lego model, but it does in the drawing. Okay. And again, like I've been talking to the students, if you have 4 legs that all extend with a motor or something inside them, again, you now have 4 times the cost of that lifting system, 4 times the number of things can go wrong. And then if the motors kind of get out of sync, you have a leg that's, like a little longer, a little shorter. So we have to think about those things. If it is possible to actuate all of this with one motor, we should. So think about having probably the extension not in the legs, I would say, but somewhere above where the legs end, because you can pull that off with one motor. It's possible to do it all with one motor if you do like a cable pulley system that's hidden inside the legs. I have seen that in adjustable standing desks, but it might not be my recommended path forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Cassie in the 10th grade. Cassie also has, again, kind of more of a traditional desk with that sort of parallelogram raising up surface, and then another little one for the iPad, it looks like, on top of that.
I think that is an interesting design where only half of it lifts, and it lifts just for the computer part. That is a very interesting thought. I had not thought of that before. I had just thought of just basically the main platform of the desk rising, but that
Yeah.
is an interesting little piece of the design.
Right. So in that case, I suppose, would it be true? Would you then want, if we did this one, would you want just the raising part of the desk? Would that be the 2.5 by the 1.5? Or do you think the whole thing, for the sake of mobility, should stay 2.5 by 1.5,
Yeah.
and then a smaller part comes up?
Yeah, I would keep it at still 2.5 because
Okay.
that's what I need as far as
Yeah.
the workspace itself. But then
Right.
maybe a smaller part lift just for the computer. And
Okay.
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And let me just pause here too and say what's going to happen out of this is our two teams are both going to go away from this video and their initial discussions and things, and you're going to get two probably fairly similar but uniquely different designs. And then Mrs. Jones, you're going to pick for us which of those two you think is the best solution, and then the whole team, both teams will then converge to that one and really refine that. That's our process going forward.
Sounds great.
All right, we have Sam is our senior, and Sam actually, let's see. Sam is more focused on leaving your current desk as is and focusing more on just the monitor system itself. Probably wasn't exactly what you're looking for, like, because I think you want the desk surface going up and down.
Yeah, I do want it to go up and down so that I spend a good part of my day standing, and I need the computer at the right height when I am standing. But there are times during the day, like right now, where we're talking, where I am sitting, or
Yeah.
that I need to sit to show something on the iPad in a way, and I need to be able to switch back and forth easily between those. So
Right.
that's something about too, that it does need to be something that is fairly simple to use.
Right. Right. And I think about, like, as I'm, we're Zooming right now, and this is likely going to continue for a while because people go out sick and things like that. I really would like myself, like the optimum zooming angle is not to have the computer on the desk in front of you. It's more to have it kind of like raised up more at head height. It seems like it's best to have this little separate way to put the iPad at your face level while your computer is still in front of you on the desk and you're typing away and doing stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Zach is also in 11th grade, been with us the whole way. And Zach has really focused in on how the legs themselves might operate. He's described like a chain gear, a worm gear. And, we've done these things with like Lego models and stuff before, and like, all the way back in middle school. But yeah, he's focused on the desk surface. It looks like being more or less static, and the legs going up and down, which is something we've seen already.
Yes.
In the other design. So maybe we won't spend too much more time looking at that one. It's kind of similar to Caitlin's, I guess, in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Pedro, our other senior in this group, Pedro looks like has gone for the same degree of freedom that was was it the very first one from Alan, maybe? Like the drafting board thing. So we already said that we don't need that. In fact, that would be counterproductive to working for the kind of work you do.
Right.
But then he's got this is actually not really seen in the other designs, I think, where he's got, well, I mean, you can see right there, it's sort of like a sleeve, like a column inside of a sleeve that smoothly goes up and down. That could be done with one driving motor. What do you think about that?
I do think that part is interesting, and I like about that the height of it coming up looks really nice, and that when it's down, I think that looks very user friendly. It's just the tilting part there.
Yeah.
When something that I would want.
Yeah. So that's of course something we would take out going forward. That's very, very clear. And this one actually is probably most similar, I think, to some of the ideas I was just trying to describe here.
Yeah.
Although I've shown mine with 4 little columns, but it could be one big chunk. Yeah, okay. Well, students who are watching, I would say that this should have been very helpful to you. I think even just hearing about all the things that we don't want, like you kind of slice away all the edges of the Venn diagram, and you narrow in on what it is that we actually need. So I am really looking forward to seeing how your discussions sharpen their focus. You guys are going to produce some drawings this week, and maybe even some CAD models. We've got some CAD aficionados out there, and this is just the tool for that. And yeah, I think by the end of this week, we should have some really good contenders to put in front of our clients. So any closing thoughts for us, Mrs. Jones?
I'm really excited to see what you come up with for the 2 final designs, and I'm looking forward to actually getting really excited about using it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, engineering students, we will see you later.